Yes. So it's almost 2 o'clock, 1:50 early morning, and I have decided, conduct live streamings at these hours also because especially these live streamings will be, uh, dedicated to learning, hmm, and to some extent important, whatever I know. Because this is not a suitable time, to go for dancing and all. For dancing, require music also. People are fast asleep around in my neighborhood, and I don't want to be a nuisance for my neighborhood. Absolutely not. Right now, also, I'm speaking in a very low voice because there are people around me. They might find it offensive, if someone speaks so loudly at these hours of the night. So I'm trying to, improve my style of speaking, my vocabulary, mm, sentence construction. Yes, indeed. Mm. So randomly I take any word, I say the meaning of it, and later I try to, you know, elaborate upon that word using perhaps my own experience related to the scenario of in which I can use that word. Hmm? Or otherwise, if I don't have anything to talk about, I would definitely I would definitely want to use my logic, hmm, my judgment to come as closer as possible to the accurate explanation of that word. Hmm. So with this, I take a few start. So I got this word deplorable. Deplorable, deplorable. Deplorable means what? Very bad and unacceptable, often in a way that shocks people. A deplorable incident. They were living in the most deplorable conditions. The acting was deplorable. Deplorable. In what way I can say deplorable? Because see, I would never want to start my live streaming with a word like this: deplorable, disgusting, or something like that. But what we are learning, I'm so word appears in front of me, I would take it deplorable. I would never want to be a deplorable character for the public. That's what I said. Right now, at these hours, when it's 1:55, early morning, we say early morning, 1:55 means night, absolute night. At this time, suppose I choose to have a dancing session, yes, dancing session with music, then this would definitely disgust my neighborhood people, my neighbors who are fast asleep now. Some of them have worked somewhere and they are tired. Tomorrow early morning they have to get up and go to office. Yeah. So I don't ever think what a deplorable kind of a neighbor we have got. Who keeps us awake, who wakes us awake, who wakes up us amidst the night, amidst the night, to dance to his rhythm. We are not interested in dancing at this hour. He is interested, he should dance during afternoon time. Why he had chosen all the way the night hours to dance? No? So they would consider me as a deplorable character, deplorable neighbor, and they would say, we have got a deplorable neighbor who disgusts us. We get disgusted. It is utterly disgusting on his part, to dance at 2 o'clock. So I'm learning. I'm not simply speaking for the sake of time pass. Yes, I'm not a person who loves to pass time. Every action of mine is oriented towards attaining something. hmm, And I believe in quality. I don't believe in quantity. I believe in quality. At the same time, hmm, I would definitely want to safeguard the quality of my creation. I wouldn't allow any external factors to dilute the quality of my creation. So I'm really particular with limited resources that I have, but I try to make my good according to the fabric, according to the cloth that I have got. Means I have limited cloth, so I cannot make, what do you call, 3-layer coat. It's called as 3-layer coat or something. I forgot. I can manage to have 1-layer coat, but I would make it in such a manner that though it is not 3-layer coat, yet with my expertise, with my knowledge, with my awareness, I would make that coat stand out in the crowd. That's what I mean to say. Though my resources are limited, but my imagination is not limited. If someone goes through my channel right from beginning up to this particular live streaming, I know, I know he would believe in what I'm saying now. He would believe that this person is fighting against limited resources, but God has gifted him with unlimited imagination, unlimited determination, unlimited patience. Indeed, yeah. So what? I don't have good speaker. So what? I don't have good mobile. 4G mobile. I'm struggling with 2G mobile. With limited memory. But my determination is not limited. This is the reason why at 2 o'clock, early morning 2 o'clock, when it's a time to go to sleep, I am awake to enlighten myself. Indeed, there hasn't been any viewer, that's all right. But when YouTube offers me in a recorded version, perhaps somebody would feel like watching it. I got 8 views on the other live streaming, which was dedicated for English speaking. Quite surprised. I was really surprised because I never expected a single view. Indeed, but I got 8 views. So I'm really thankful to YouTube. I don't know what was happening for about a week or something. The views had fallen absolutely. I was into complete pessimism, yet I continued to work because even if I don't have a single view, even if I don't have any growth as far as subscription is concerned, yet I'm self-motivated person, and with self-motivation, I prefer to move ahead. I'm gonna work on this channel until I survive. So I'm absolutely not in haste to get quick results and all. If the quick results fall, is far greater than expected. Yes, far greater than expected. But even if they don't fall immediately, I'm really hopeful about working on this channel, creating videos, creating live streamings using imagination. And trying to present something new, something with novelty, so that people love it, viewers love it. Indeed. So, we are saying this word deplorable means utterly disgusting. How to remember this word? If at 2 o'clock in the night, if I start dancing, my neighbors would think we have got a disgusting neighbor, a deplorable neighbor we have got who keeps us awake, who wakes us up, who keeps us awake in the night, who who wakes up, who wakes us up, who wakes us up, in the night and makes her life miserable. I don't want anyone to think like that. Because wherever I have gone, wherever I have stayed, my neighbors have always said one language. This person doesn't interfere with anyone. He is always committed to his work. He's a peace loving neighbor, and we haven't had any issue with this particular neighbor. Hmm? He's really, I don't say gentleman and all. Those words are not useful for me. Gentleman, thorough gentleman. No, I don't use those words for me. When they say he's a peace loving character, yeah. And no one has ever put a label on my head as a deplorable neighbor until now. A deplorable neighbor until it's a deplorable neighbor. No one has put a label saying he is a deplorable neighbor. There are chances when you say this thing, you encounter with slip of tongue, because I generally develop that particular, you know, uh, uh, element. Because my tongue is slightly heavy. It becomes very difficult to speak my own mother tongue, because it's very difficult as far as pronunciation is concerned. But English, as compared to that, is much easier. So no one has fixed a label of being a deplorable character, a deplorable neighbor on my head. Yes, indeed. So let's go to some other word randomly. We'll see everyone. Hmm? I got a word everyone. We know everyone. I mean, we know word everyone since we were children. It's a very easy word. Everyone means each one. Sometimes it's very difficult, to define or to explain. Extremely simple word. Extremely simple word. Disgustingly simple word. Disgustingly simple word. How? How? Yes, because how to explain a simple word? There are no words available. If I have to explain a difficult word, of course I have words. But when it comes to explaining a very simple word, it becomes extremely difficult. So every person, all people, everyone cheered and clapped. Oh, very nice word. Everyone. See, there is no one. I would have expected someone, to log on to this live streaming and say a few words to inspire me, say a few words to motivate me. I don't expect loud applause. From everyone around, indeed, but at least a few of them could have turned up. Because I told you in my previous live streaming, my grandfather used to always say, everyone has to repay the debts of the society. Society or the nature has taken good care of us ever since we were born. So we need to repay that. Again, the quantum of repayment depends upon how much the society has made for you. I repeat my words. The quantum of the repayment process depends upon how much you have got from the nature, how much you have got from the society. Generally, some people say, uh, he does a lot of donations, he does a lot of donations, he does a lot of donations. I mean to say, it is not donation, actually, it is the repayment of debts, because the society has given him too much, too much beyond comparison. So now the society, the nature demands repayment. Yes, the nature demands repayment. Universe demands repayment. Whatever universe does for us, we have to repay. We got to repay. So it is not the donation that is doing, it is the repayment of the debts to the universe. And if he doesn't practice the repayment process, then there are chances that the person might lose his mental balance. Sorry, he would lose his mental balance. And then he would start reacting in a manner which is undesirable. This is the reason why those who earn lots and lots and lots, those who have created huge fortunes and millions, they have no option but to repay the debts. So, friends, it's not the donation, it is actually the repayment process. If you ask me, I don't have money to repay. So, in what manner I would do? I would reduce the debts on my head. In what manner I can reduce the burden of debts of the society from my shoulders, because society has indeed helped me a lot. It is still helping me. It's giving me clothes, it's giving me shelter, it has given me shelter, it has given me clothes, it's giving me food to eat. Society has given, the nature has given me this YouTube channel where I'm speaking now. It is the gift of nature. Yeah, I pay for my internet charges and all that is besides the point. But otherwise, nature has given it to me. So how can I repay the debts? No, I don't have money to buy goods and give it to the poor and needy people. Generally, what millionaires do, they give a lot of food at charity. They give a lot of clothes at charity. But I am not. I don't have money. I'm a poor man. So how can I repay the debts? Do I want to? So I've chosen this particular channel, and I've decided to create some videos, some live streamings to impart. If I can't give goods, I can render my services. Yes, there is no viewer right now, quite unfortunately, but after it is recorded, if someone appears to be in this live streaming, appears to be here to get something, definitely I can vouch by Wagger, I can say by Wagger, I can vouch it that he would depart. He would leave this video by gaining something, by attending something. And perhaps if he gets impressed with this video, he might he might log on to my channel. Yes, log on to my channel. He would subscribe to God and Joy, the channel. The host is in front of you, so he might log on to this channel, and that would definitely benefit me. Why? Because it would inspire me, it would motivate me to carry on forward, even if there hasn't been even, I don't have any option but to go on. Indeed, but to go on. Yes. So I'm on a word, everyone. The police questioned everyone in the room. The teacher commented on everyone's work. The teacher commented on everyone's work. The teacher congratulated everyone for the task which was performed by them, in an effective manner, in the most desirable manner, perfectly. So let's take another FASTEN, fasten. Fasten means to close or join together the two parts of something. Fasten something up. To become closed or joined together. Do up. There is another do up. Do up your belt, please. Do up your shoes, please. Fasten your shoes lace. Do up your lace, please. Do up your laces, please. And say, sir, do up your laces, please. It's an important word. Let me mark it. I generally mark words as important, like this. Can you see? I don't know what is this. I think perhaps you'll see the reverse image of it. I'm not quite sure. But this is how I can make the markings, I can make the markings. Do up your laces. If someone says do up your laces, don't look zapped into the eyes of the speaker. Do up your laces means fasten your laces. Okay, do up your belt means Fasten your belt, okay? Fasten. He fastened up his coat and hurried out, hurried. He fastened up his coat, he fastened the button. I have kept the buttons open because generally, I don't wear shirt and all. For last 3 to 4 streamings, I was not wearing shirt because this is not a classroom. Yes, this is not a classroom. I don't want to create an effect of a classroom. Now I am not a teacher now. I am just a self-motivated learner, a self-motivated learner. So I really don't bother much about what I wear. I don't bother much about my costumes. Why? Because there hasn't been any viewer, zero viewers, zero comments. So why should I bother so much about my clothes and all? If I had about 1000 viewers, I would have definitely paid attention to my costumes, to my appearance. My facial appearance is good enough, sufficient enough to satisfy me. Yes, and I'm wearing shirt also. So this is good enough. I don't have to tie. I don't have to fasten my shirt. I don't have to fasten my buttons. It's okay if it's loose. Hardly matters because I'm not a trainer. I'm not a trainer. I'm not a teacher. And this is not a spoken English classroom. Absolutely not. I'm passing time. Because I'm at these odd hours. I'm awake at these odd hours. Particularly because I see people around me who work so hard. Even I'm looking for an opportunity where I would get a chance to work, but quite unfortunately, I don't get an opportunity to work. No one is, tolerating my appearance. No one is accepting my existence, very existence. I am really fighting for an opportunity. I am not getting any opportunity. I don't get any work. So how can I prove myself? Thanks to YouTube for giving me this platform so that I can engage myself in motivating myself, in keeping myself active, and more than anything else, in keeping myself alive. If I haven't had YouTube channel, I wouldn't have been in front of you right now. I would have been departed from this planet long ago. Yes, it is YouTube and quite recently Insta. On these two platforms, I have started working and I have ruled out the possibility of taking untoward step with my life. Why? Because YouTube and Insta, both of you have shown me the silver line around the dark cloud. If you hadn't been there, YouTube and Insta, if you both are my friends, if you hadn't been there, I would have died looking at the darker side of the pitchy dark side of the cloud. I wouldn't have seen the silver lining. Behind every behind every cloud, dark cloud, there is silver lining. They say we look at the pitch darkness of the cloud, but we generally we generally ignore the silver line around the dark cloud. No, there is a ray of hope. There is a ray of hope. A ray of hope. A ray of hope. It's a difficult thing to pronounce. For a person like me who has got a thick tongue or slightly heavier tongue. A ray of hope. A ray of hope. A ray of hope. When I encounter with such kind of words or such kind of sentences, I always, pronounce them several times, so that my tongue gets used to uh, pronouncing these words. Array of hope, array of hope, array of hope, array of hope, that way. So we're on the word fasten. I don't know how I jump or how I change the track from fasten to ray of hope, wherever. The dress fastens at the back. The dress fastens at the back. The dress, if you have seen those, historical films, English films, basically British films. I'm talking about, not American, British films. Where the women have, the woman sits in front of the mirror, and she has an attendant, lady attendant, who goes on fastening the laces of her gown, evening gown. And that entire portion of laces is on the back, on her back. Her back is entirely covered with the laces, and the attendant has to go on tying up laces. I have seen this particular, incident or particular clipping, in many films, and that has, when first time I noticed it, I was wondering what is this. Someone is just going on fastening the laces, but then that is the charm of dressing room. Indeed, in those days, that is the charm of the dressing room. And the picturization is such that, the attendant's face is only half seen, and the face of the heroine is absolutely not seen. Only the reflection of her face is seen in the mirror. Can you imagine? The reflection of the heroine's face is seen in the mirror. Well, you can see the back of the heroine with the attendant's half face like this. Half face or like this. Okay, half this way. This way. If this is the face, only this portion is visible. Okay, this way is visible, and her hands are moving on the back of the heroine for fastening up the laces. Okay, so here I got a sentence: fasten, the dress fastens at the back. The dress fastens at the back means the dress fastens itself at the back. At the back. Now, when you come across sentence like the dress fastens, whom does it fasten? Dress fastens. It's an active voice. Dress fastens. Whom? What is the subject? What is the object? The dress fastens what? Okay. So the dress fastens itself. The subject becomes the object. The dress fastens itself at the back. At the back. Okay. But here the object is not mentioned. Object is implied. The subject itself is object, but the object is implied. It is omitted, but yet the significance of it, the existence of it is felt, because of the structure of the sentence. Okay, the dress fastens at the back. So see, there are thousands of sentences like this. It's very difficult to remember each and every sentence, and there is no hard and fast rule that you have to know each and that you have to remember every sentence, or you have to use every construction. It is not possible. It is absolutely not possible. There are more than 20,000 what do you call sentences of this kind. How much you would remember, how much you can use. But if you read them once, twice, 4 times, 10 times, at least you would know the meaning accurately. Suppose you are in an interview, or you have been invited for a discussion, and a champion of English language is speaking very, very difficult language, and he has been using this kind of, difficult sentences. So, it becomes very difficult to answer his questions if you haven't followed the question. A question is full of, it's an ambiguous question, means having multiple meanings. How to derive the actual meaning, how to come to the accurate meaning, which would satisfy the context of the subject. So, to derive the nearest meaning, you should be able to understand the question. But he is using difficult language. He's using very, very hardcore vocabulary. So, how can I understand the question? If I cannot understand the question, how can I answer the question? There are about 5,000 viewers who are listening to the conversation. And I cannot say, pardon, please come again, sir. Could you please speak in simple English? No, I can't afford to give this kind of feedback because his question is hitting me like a bullet. I have to hit it back like a bullet. Indeed, you followed me what I'm saying? His questions are hitting me like bullets, so I have to retaliate like bullets. Hmm? If someone is asking me bullets, I have to answer the bullets. As simple as that. So for that, if you go on reading something, you would at least derive the right meaning. You will be able to understand his questions so that you can put forward your answers. Alright. So let's go back to fasten. Fasten the gates securely so that they do not blow open. Fasten the gates securely so that they do not blow open. I have this door, gallery door, balcony door. Uh, if you don't fasten, it will be blown open by the wind because there is so much of wind over here. Hmm? The wind, the thrust of wind would blow the door open, and it would blow open and it would close on its own, and when it closes on its own, it would bang against the door frame. And that way here we have slight damages, around the door frame. There is the plaster falls off. There are cracks because the door bangs itself against the door frame due to very fast moving wind, heavy wind, fierce wind, strong wind. Especially during the cyclonic conditions, we have cyclone at least twice or thrice in a year. We have cyclone, and before cyclone actually develops, we generally go out to see the weather, because before cyclone the weather is quite dusty, and we generally get carried away to see how it looks around. During cyclone, it's always better not to expose yourself outside. If you stay on height, you're on first or second stand. Sorry, if you are on first or second floor, not standard but floor. If you are on first or second floor, you can go out to see the view. But suppose you are on a 10th, 11th floor, you are on 22nd floor, 27th floor, is better you don't expose your body to the wind. The chances that a person gets blown off. I remember I used to go on the terrace. We stay on 11th floor. I used to go on the terrace. Most about 7 to about 10 videos of mine, not 10 videos, perhaps more than 20 videos of mine. If you happen to see this channel thoroughly, about 20 videos of my channel are filmed on the terrace, that too on the water tank. And I remember in 2024, in the month of July last year, it had started really raining. It had started raining, and the wind was blowing so fiercely that I really had to take support of the water tank, and I was sitting in such a manner that the water tank was blocking the gust of wind. If the water tank hadn't been there, I would have been really blown with the wind. I don't know where I would have fallen, where I would have landed. Where I would have landed, in what position I would have landed, and in what scenario I would have landed. It's a big question mark, not to comment upon it, not to talk about it, but to understand the gravity of the situation. So I would always recommend people not to go to a height when it's extremely windy. Go First of all, you should not go on the top of the water tank if there is no railing. Like in our case, in our building, there hasn't been a railing. If at all the railing is there, it is as from here, this portion, okay, from this portion, it is as tall as my palm, or it is as short as my palm. Now imagine on the 12th floor, yes, not even 12th, it becomes 13th floor, the 12th floor, assume 12th floor. On the 12th floor, when there are cyclonic winds, fierce wind is moving, or the wind is blowing in a fierce manner. Water flows, wind blows. Keep in mind, water flows, wind blows. Both have the same action of movement. But when it comes to water, we say it flows, and when it comes to wind, we say it blows. So the fierce wind is blowing, and I'm on the 12th floor, that too on the water tank, and the railing is as high as my palm or is as short as my palm. What is the output? What is going to be the result? I get blown away. I get blown away. This is the reason why people have objected my dancing. It's not that they were jealous of my dancing steps. Absolutely not. It's not that they wanted to put hindrance in my path of progress. Absolutely not. They wanted to safeguard me. They wanted to save me. They wanted to save me from falling down from 12th floor. So everyone who comes in front of you is not resistance. It should not be considered as resistance. That wasn't resistance, that was a timely help. Since then I have stopped going to terrace. I go to mountain hilltop, because there is no fear of being blown away. I wouldn't know how it is gonna be at that particular spot. Tableland, I call as tableland spot, which is a flat surface, and there's a tree. I consider the tree as my friend. I had been there near the tree. I have kissed the tree, and someone is hanging a bottle filled with grain for birds also. So I'm talking about that tableland, a flat portion of the hill where I had been, where I generally go to have some quick dance steps. Yes, so I guess that particular point is gonna be dangerous when there is tremendous flow of wind. There are chances that a person may get blown away. So I really can't comment upon it because I still have to explore that place during monsoon. I have just begun to go there, towards the end of January, and towards the end of January means it's the time for summer to start. But I'm quite optimistic about going there even in the monsoon also. Yeah, so that would be really risky, and the mountain in front of me, it is even higher than that. The place where I generally go is a hill. It can be considered as slightly taller than a hill, but the place where I wish to go, the mountain, the place which I wish to climb is a mountain. Yes, it has got good height, which can satisfy a trekker. Yes, so I wish to climb that mountain sometime in this week itself or in this month itself, and I feel it's gonna be equally dangerous. Uh, More precisely, at a particular at a particular point on the mountain where it ends, where the tableland ends, and then there's a valley. At that particular point, if there's fierce wind, there are chances that a person gets blown. I'm talking about cyclonic winds, heavy winds, fast winds, gusting winds, I'm talking about that. Yes, it's about it. Let's come back to fasten. To fix or place something in a particular position so that it will not move. Fasten, okay? Please fasten your commodities. If there is a cyclone, generally they fasten the vehicles, because when we used to work at airport, when there used to be strong surface winds means wind blows in a fierce manner along surface. So the airports authority of India or meteorological department used to give us warnings to keep the step ladders, and basically the equipments could be which could be maneuvered, which are maneuvered on the ramp, to keep them fastened properly, so that even if there is fierce wind, they don't get blown away. Yeah, because wind has the capacity to blow off step ladders, to blow off trolleys, and if they get blown off, the chances that they bang against aircraft is gonna cause a huge loss for the company, which the company cannot sustain, because a minor damage to the aircraft is a costly affair for the airline. Imagine a huge trolley full of bags, closed trolley gets blown off, gets blown due to a wind and bangs on the cockpit. What's gonna be the effect of it? Very, very painful effect. Why? Because the company would end up paying the penalties, which would make it bleed. Bleed means what? It would make the company uh, fight against huge losses, just because of the negligence on the part of staff members when they were warned by the meteorological department and even the airport authority to keep each and every equipment fastened to the pillars or some kind of hooks, in whichever manner, but keep the things fastened so that they don't get blown away and bang on the passengers, bang on the aircrafts, or bang on the airport building, to break the windows and all. Okay, that's where it is fastened. We have seen the word fasten. Let's go to some other word. Fence. F-E-N-C, fence. Fence is not. Fence is a structure made of wood or wire supported with posts that is put between two areas of land as a boundary or around a garden, yard, field, etc. So, they construct, they erect the bamboos or the what do you call, uh, the stems of the trees or the branches of the trees, they erect at a regular interval, and then they fasten them, one with another, and that way they go on doing it, fastening one post with another, and the second with the third with the fourth one, and so on and so forth, that way with wire, of course, with wire, or cords, and that's how the railing is done. Railing is done, or the fencing is done. Why do we do fencing? To prevent our fields, to prevent our property from outsiders. Now, here outsiders means not the men, because men have the capacity to break the fence. Fencing doesn't help looters. Fencing doesn't help the thieves. Absolutely not. Fencing would help only the animals. When they look at the fence, they get tired. They get scared, and they don't try, to jump over the fence, because sometimes a fence is made of wire with tentacles, steel tentacles, or iron tentacles, so there are chances, if an animal tries to jump over the fence, the chances that it may cause damage, it may cause damage to her body parts. So fence, okay. A structure that horses must jump over in a race or a competition. Friends, the obstacles, in obstacle race, the horse literally jumps over the obstacle, like this. He loses the contact with the ground, and he jumps over the obstacle and lands beyond the obstacle. So these obstacles can be called as fences also. I have used this word three times, thrice or four times, nearly 5 6 times. I have used this word. I'm crossing fences the other day, because Sorry, I was feeling sleepy. I didn't know what I was saying because it is past 2:30. My eyes are closing now, but yet I keep myself awake. Why? Because some people around here are working very hard day and night. I haven't got any chance to work, but because I'm self-motivated person and I'm working for myself, so I keep awake. These are also to keep myself active, to learn to be active, to learn to be active at these hours. When I used to work at airport, I was used to when I worked at airport, I must say when I worked at airport, I was used to working in the night shift, and working at these odd hours was not difficult for me. If at all due to insufficient sleep on the previous night, in the previous night it causes the impact, it spoils the working night, I mean this night would be spoiled by the previous night if I haven't had sufficient sleep. And to avoid it, we used to all mingle together, staff members of different what do you call different departments used to come together, and we used to have fun time, for some time, so that we can keep ourselves active, we can keep ourselves awake, to handle the show effectively, because we still have about 4 to 5 hours. Last flight would go in the morning at 7 o'clock. So we have how much time do we have? Now it's almost 2:40. Okay, so after 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exactly 4 hours I have in my hand. 4 hours. It's very difficult. It's very easy to count 4 hours, but during night shift, these 4 hours matter a lot. In night shift, these 4 hours matter a lot indeed. This is my experience indeed. Where I was, fence. Okay, to surround or divide an area with a fence. Its property is fence with barbed wire. Barbed wires. See also unfenced. To take part in the sport of friends, I'm feeling sleepy. So basically, fence means what? Obstacles also. To fence a farm. You need to fence a farm because the crop is being eaten by the cattle. Okay. Filter tip. FILTR filter and tip. A filter at the end of a cigarette. A filter at the end of a cigarette. At the end of a cigarette that removes some of the harmful substances from the smoke. A cigarette that has this filter tip. Okay, suppose I'm smoking. I don't smoke. If I'm smoking, this proportion that touches my lips, that tip, it has to be filtered. Why? Because I'm inhaling the smoke. The smoke has gone inside my body. Smoke has gone inside my body, and if I have filter tip, it gets filtered. Literally, somewhat fresh air goes into my lungs. Uh, so, friends, where I was. I was literally feeling sleepy, boys. I was absolutely sleeping. I don't know, I think for half a minute or a minute or 2 minutes. I had dozed off to sleep. I was sleeping, but then I got up. Filter tip. Okay. Every cigarette has got some poisonous substances. So when you have filter tip, It is brown in color. And if you smoke a cigarette, the chances that those that oh my god, I'm feeling really sleepy. I don't know what I'm saying. So when you smoke a cigarette with filter tip, there are chances that toxic toxic gases don't enter into your body. They get filtered. They get filtered. Okay. FILTH, filth. What do we mean by filth? Any dirty and unpleasant substance. We're talking about some substance which is very dirty or what you call unpleasant. The floor was covered in the grease and filth. The floor was covered in grease and filth. Grease, grease and filth. Words, magazines, etc. that are connected with sex and that are words or magazines, etc. that are covered, that are connected with sex and connected with sex and that are and are considered very rude and offensive. How can you read such filth? The filth. How can you read such filth? Especially, basically, the articles. Articles are related to sex and all. Are considered as filthy. As considered filthy. Filthy. It's a filthy. What do you call? Filthy art or filthy literature. Yeah. So filth. Filth means what? The filth. British English slang. An offensive word for the police. Filth. In Britain, they can say filth. The filth means what? The filth means what? An offensive word for the police. For the police, they can say filth. As of filth standing at the corner. We got to tackle with the filth. How to tackle with the filth? I don't understand. Okay, filth means the police. Filth means the police. Okay. See, now how is this word? FILTH, the filth, the filth. But this is the beauty of English language. Suppose someone puts in front of me a question, okay, a Britisher for that matter, he asks me a question. How would you prevent yourself? How would you guard yourself from the filth? Hmm? For for Guys, I'm sleepy. I'm very much sleepy. Sorry. Give me one moment. It's almost 3 o'clock now. Filth. The filth means policeman. It is a slang word used by Britishers. Filth. So someone is asking me a question. How would you protect your? How would you safeguard your interest from the acquisitions made by the filth? Now, when a question like this is put in front of me, how would you safeguard your interests? How would you safeguard yourself from the accusations made by the filth? Made by the filth. Sorry, I don't understand. Made by the filth means what? But now I have seen the filth means what? The filth means what? An offensive word for the police, an offensive word for the police in British soil. So I would definitely know that, and I can answer the question accordingly because now I have followed the question thoroughly well. I have followed the question thoroughly well, so answering is not so difficult. Yeah. Finger food. Finger food. Nice word I came across. Let me mark this word. As important. Yes. Finger food. Pieces of food that you can easily eat with your fingers. Finger food. What a word it is. I like this word, finger food. Now I'm trying to use this word with the perfect uses of it. Finger food. Finger food. Pieces of food that you can easily eat with your fingers. Okay. The piece of food which I can eat with finger like this or whatever. So that is called as finger food. Finger bowl, a small bowl of water for washing your fingers during meal. Finger bowl, a small bowl of water for washing your fingers during a meal. It's almost 2:45, closer to 3 o'clock. But I'm feeling satisfied. I'm really, I feel satisfied to work at these odd hours. It would have been something better, much better to take a rest by sleeping at 11 o'clock in the evening and to get up at 7 o'clock. But no, I prefer to stay awake till 3 o'clock. I would terminate this meeting in some time. I would go to sleep and get up at 7 o'clock. So I have only 4 hours of sleep. That is sufficient enough for me, because I want to activate my meter. I want to activate my meter. Yes, indeed. Society is not supporting me, but I can support myself. Yes. Each and every time I cannot depend upon society. I have to sharpen my tools. Yes. Twice I dozed off to sleep. If you notice it keenly, twice I had dozed off to sleep. But yet I woke up and began to speak. Oh, what a word, fluency. Fluency, the quality of being able to speak or write a language, especially a foreign language, easily and well. Fluency in French is required for this job. The quality of doing something in a smooth and skillful way. The team lacked fluency during the first half. Generally, when we say fluency, what comes to our mind is speaking a particular language fluently means fast and accurately. Simply speaking fast with tremendous grammatical mistakes is not called as fluency. I have seen people who speak very fast but they make miserable grammatical mistakes. So fluency is what speaking fast but meaningfully. You got to speak meaningfully and with speed also. Then you can say it's fluency. Okay. तो पाल यहाँ जाडजूट म्हणून जर काही उघड हवं गेली तर काय भयंकरच पाल इथं मोठी 2 आहेत आणखीन एक आतमध्ये आहे आणखीन एक आतमध्ये पण एक आहे तिथे किचनमध्ये बघू नंतर बघतो फोन दरवाजा बंद करतो. So fluency is what? Fluency is what? You are able to speak fast. At the same time, you are speaking perfectly. Perfectly. There hasn't been any mistake. See, sometimes you tend to make mistakes. Sometimes you, like me, myself, my case, I have heavy tongue. So I generally encounter with what do you call slip of tongue or something, some certain formations of sentences or certain combinations of words are difficult for me to pronounce, but then I apologize for that because this is something, it happens naturally, It's not that this particular phenomena cannot be, repaired by studying hard. No, this is something which is developed, within my body, and my body doesn't allow me sometimes, to speak some combination of words, perfectly. I really have to manipulate, I really have to maneuver situations. Indeed. So, but I'm working upon it. If at all I make mistake, I try to cover it up by giving a fantastic example or speaking or shooting up my performance for the next 10 minutes in a very, very classic manner, in a very, very classic manner. Okay, so this is about it. So, fluency is what generally when we come across fluency, we take it in relation to language. But fluency is not a word which goes only in case of language. You can say fluency of work also. Fluency of work. Okay, here in this example, they're talking about fluency of the game. They have played the game with fluency. If suppose there have been obstacles, there have been disturbances in the performance of the players. One player is playing superbly well. Second, the performance of the second player has fallen down. It's not up to the mark, absolutely not up to the standards expected by him, expected from him. Again, the third and fourth players are playing well. Fifth one is playing in a very shabby manner. So you see, there is no fluency in terms of the performance. There is no fluency in terms of the performance of the team members. So fluency is not the word which goes only in case of language. It goes in terms of actions also. It can be used in terms of activities also. Mostly I have come across two scenarios. First of all, language, and secondly, sports, where fluency can be used. Yeah. Hmm. You can even say the thought process, the fluency of my thought process. I am speaking, I should get words also. I can speak fluently if I have fluency of thought process. If my thought process has got fluencies, means I get thoughts, I get ideas one after another. There's a cluster of thoughts in my mind, there's a cluster of ideas in mind, and I say fluency of ideas, fluency of thoughts. So this is about it, friends. I'm with you for about 1 hour and 3 minutes. I take your leave. It's 3 o'clock, almost 3 o'clock, and I'm really satisfied for staying awake at these odd hours and to help repay the debts of society. One who logs on to my channel, one who ever tries to be at this particular video would definitely benefit out of it to some extent. Yeah, I'm really hopeful about it because I have trust in myself. I believe in my capacity. I have faith in my abilities. Who watches this particular live streaming after it is being recorded by YouTube would definitely benefit out of it because I have myself benefited out of it for speaking over 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 25 seconds. So with this, I take you leave. Bye bye. Stay connected. Thank you, friends. Bye bye. Bye. See you tomorrow. See you this evening. I might see you in the evening. Of course, if my data pack allows me, because I'm fighting against limited data pack also. I have data, then I would definitely have another live streaming. That could be perhaps dancing, acting, singing on the mountain or on the hill nearby. Okay, until then, friends, bye bye. Take care. Enjoy your life. Bye bye. Bye. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Yes, friends. I am little sleepy now. Twice I dozed off to sleep. Huh? So let me take a leave. Bye bye.